it's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. I know you tried so hard.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. If you are new here, hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Paige Sechler. So today I am talking about something that is very personal, something that actually a lot of women struggle with, a lot of couples are struggling with, and it's something that is not talked about as often as I wish it was. But I will say those that have talked about it, that have opened up about it, that have shared about it on YouTube and Instagram and just shared their journey of fertility and infertility on their platforms, it has given me such a sense of comfort and peace and just a little bit more understanding to, one, just everything that's going on, two, showing me how many people actually go through this journey, and three, it just gives me a sense of comfort. It makes me feel less alone. So when I'm sharing this, I am sharing this to a camera right now. You as a viewer are a person, somebody struggling, somebody that may know me, and when I'm talking about stuff like this personal, this deep, but I like kind of telling myself that I'm talking to nobody, like it's just like my virtual diary. Okay, sorry, I had to change my camera battery. Anyway, so what I was saying is I like just in my mind telling myself that this is just my virtual diary. So if you know me in real life, I hope this is helping you. If you just watch my videos just to support my channel, thank you for the support. This is very personal, so take that as you will. Don't treat me any different because of this video. Okay, so let me give you guys a little bit of a backstory. Okay, so it would have been a couple months before Max and I got married, because we knew after we got married we wanted to wait about a year until we started trying to have a family. So it was we got married in September of 2019. It was in August of 2019 I got my birth control taken out. I had the IUD implant, and I had it for about 4.5 years. I think you're allowed to have it in America for 5 years. I know almost every other country it's like 2 to 3 years, but I think in America it's 5 years, and I had it taken out right before I would have to have it taken out anyway. And the whole time I was on that, this is also a very TMI video. So if you're a dude that knows me, like, see you later. Thank you for trying to support me. You don't have to watch this video. Anyway, I didn't get a period the whole time I had the IUD for like the last, from like, let's see, 19, 18, 17, 16, from like 2015 to 2019 I had zero period, like nothing. And that was kind of awesome because, one, I didn't have to worry that birth control is very effective, and two, I didn't have to have a period. Like, I thought that was living the life, you know. Fast forward, I get it taken out. It went a couple of months, didn't have a period. Went to my gyno. They said, you know, that's normal. Just really try to make sure you are getting all of your nutrients and supplements in, you know, vitamins, just like things like that. Did all of that. Fast forward to August of 2020. Well, fast forward to September of 2020, Max and I's 1-year wedding anniversary, and we kind of, around that time, sat down and said, okay, our plan was about a year. We were going to wait to have children. We're at that year, and I'm like, okay, my body still isn't ready. I'm mentally ready. Physically, we're ready. Our house is ready. Like, we are ready for a baby. My body just, it wasn't there yet. So I was like, you know what, this is kind of strange. Let's wait a little bit longer. So it went to probably the beginning. I said, I'm going to give my body just a little bit longer. I'll wait until 2021, the beginning of the year. And mind you, the whole pandemic had happened. It was just, doctors were kind of crazy right then. Like, it was still very strict about what you could go in for, what you couldn't go in for. So I said, I'll give my body a little bit longer, and I will wait until about January, and then I will start getting a little bit more serious with my appointments, with figuring out what's going on, because like I said, we're ready. Like, we are ready. God, you know, his plans are better than ours. So in end of January, beginning of February, I went to my gyno. I had to get like my annual exam anyway, got my pap, all that great stuff. But we also got to talking about how I still have very irregular cycles. I think maybe in that whole year I had 3, maybe 4 cycles in 16 months. Very, very, very irregular, not good, not ovulating consistently. So let's see, after that, so she did some exams, ran some tests, and I had to come back in like a week after my initial exam, and they ran a little bit more testing, got those results in, and it came back that I have PCOS. From what I understand, now I am not a doctor, I'm not an expert in this area, I am literally just living through it, sharing my journey with you. That's what this is. And as you know from the title of this video, I was diagnosed with PCOS. If you're not familiar with what that is, there's no specific test they can do that will say, yes, you have it. But it's kind of like 3 factors that contribute to what, the 3 factors that kind of sum up what PCOS is, or if you have PCOS. And basically if you have like 1 out of if you even have 1 out of the 3, you have it. Like, you are just kind of grouped into this category that I don't say there's no answer for, because they have answers, but it's just this like, the human body is just such a strange thing. So basically those 3 things are an irregular or not ovulating cycle, a high testosterone level or higher than average testosterone level, and then like a uterine ultrasound that shows physical cysts on your ovaries. So those are the 3 things that kind of say that you have PCOS. So I had blood work done, and my testosterone levels were a little bit higher than normal, which explains why my acne has happened within the last bit of time. Some weight gain, like, just explained a lot, some mood swings, like a lot of things that were happening in my life that I didn't know at the time. I thought I was just like, oh great, getting older is just awesome. Nope, turns out my body is doing some things. If you're noticing some abnormal things all happening at once, there's probably something wrong with it. That would make sense to any logical person. So I found that out, and then I also obviously have an irregular cycle, and I'm not ovulating. My gyno did not do a uterine ultrasound on me. She didn't feel it was necessary because the first 2 tests clearly showed that I am suffering with PCOS, or I have PCOS. And so from there, she felt that since my husband and I were actively trying to get pregnant or ready to get pregnant, she wanted to refer me directly, like right away, to a fertility specialist instead of running more tests herself. So that is what she did, which for that I am thankful for. So today it is April 12th. Oh, that's not true. So because, so a big risk factor, I guess I would say, for PCOS, one, my gynecologist gave me some papers to read up on that told me like the risks of PCOS. So since I have that, more at risk to become a diabetic, which is crazy and scary, because in my mind I'm like, okay, I'm a healthy young 22-year-old, like what? So that was kind of scary to hear, but I was glad I became informed on that. And then also something that is a big concern for people with PCOS is endometrial cancer. Like if you have endometriosis, kind of like that side of things, but with cancer. So if you're not like shedding regularly, it can just build up and build up and build up and eventually turn it into a cancer. So that is a big concern that my doctors had with me, because I am having no cycle at all. It's not that like it's just irregular, it's that I am just really not having one. Like even like 4 out of every 12 is not enough, and I'm not even having 4 in 16 months. So they were very concerned about that. So they did, my gynecologist, after running my tests and referring me to the fertility specialist, knowing it would take a while for me to get in, she did give me Provera, I think is what it's called, and it's basically a medicine that induced a period or brought on a period. And so I took that back in February, and I did get a period. I did technically not ovulate though, and she said, well, we'll just let you go, you know, you did shed at least once, so we'll let you go until you see your fertility specialist, because she knew I had my appointment in like within the next 3 months. So that being said, today is April 12th. Yes, today's April 12th, and I had my virtual appointment with my fertility specialist. She was the sweetest lady ever. Honestly, absolutely incredible. Very, very happy with the outcome of today's appointment. So it was a lot to take in today, and I've done an awful lot of rambling and chatting with you thus far, but this is the beginning, the over bulk of my journey so far. So she basically ran over my history at the beginning of my appointment, everything that my gyno sent in, all the test results that they've had so far, sent all of that stuff in, and all of that, you know, we just confirmed that all of that was correct. And then she just went into the severity of PCOS, how serious it is to take it, how at risk I can be to certain diseases and just illnesses in the future if I don't take it seriously and just work on curing it myself. Also, I just want to throw this out there. There are videos out there that people have cured their PCOS holistically. Props to you. That is incredible. That is wonderful. I am all for holistically healing your life. That being said, modern medicine is a blessing and it is to be used, in my opinion. If you know me, you know I'm not a huge medicine person. You know I don't take medicine. You know I am a very firm believer that natural supplements, essential oils, things like that really do have a strong healing power. That being said, I have done all of that myself. I have done all of that in the last, well, maybe not quite 60 months, but in the last year, done as much as I can to naturally induce my period, to naturally get my cycle back, and it hasn't worked. So it's not like all of a sudden my first resort is medicine. It took me a long time and a lot of discussion with my husband to get to the point to rely on modern medicine, but that's where I'm at. And if you don't have anything to say about that, please refrain from commenting, but that is where I'm at in my journey. So with all of that being said, she went over everything, and I am still going to be actively moving my body for at least 45 minutes a day, which I have been pretty well at, and then I'm trying to eat a lot better. I'm definitely getting better at that, especially learning that my body is now could become insulin resistant. I'm definitely being very proactive on that end, but I'm going, since like the way my tests have showed already, she wants me to get tested yearly to check my sugar levels or something. I'm totally new to all of this, so I apologize if this doesn't make sense. But basically I have to get like yearly blood work just to make sure everything is still looking good. Whether I'm trying to get pregnant, whether I'm on birth control, whatever that may be, I just have to get yearly blood work just to make sure everything is still good. So they're starting me on, I have blood work tomorrow to make sure everything's good. Once my doctor's office, once the fertility specialist gets that test result back, they will then prescribe me with Provera. This will technically be my second dose of Provera, but my first dose of pairing it with Letrozole, I think is what it's called, which is like the PCOS version of Clomid, which is a very popular, popular is not the word I want to use, but a very common medicine used to help treat infertility. Now I do struggle with migraine, so Clomid instantly was like a no-go for my specialist. She said, not with your migraine history. I don't want to put you through that. So, and she said, actually, that's not what I would have recommended anyway, because since you have PCOS and you struggle with migraines, I would prefer to put you on Letrozole. So basically, I start my Provera, and then on my third day of my cycle, then I start the Letrozole for 5 days, and after that, I should be ovulating. And once I get my positive ovulation test, from there, I will call the doctor's office and say at 6:45 in the morning, hey, I got my positive OVU test, and then I have to go into the doctor's office that day, which is like an hour and a half away, and they will do a uterine ultrasound just to make sure like everything looks good down there, because they do try to prevent multiple pregnancy as much as possible. Now this medicine, they can't control everything, but it will kind of determine if the amount of Letrozole that is in my body is the right amount, that I'm not overproducing eggs or anything like that. So if all goes well, that should regulate my cycle enough and regulate my ovulation enough that within the next 5 to 6 months, Max and I are able to conceive. God willing, God blessing. That is, as far as medical science and everything goes, how things should work out. Now the human body is different, God's plan is different, and things can change. So right now, that is where we are at in our PCOS journey. Okay, hi friends. Adjust you a smidgen here. So I am on my way. I'm vlogging. I don't vlog all that often, so I'm on my way to get my blood work done. Yesterday, I kind of updated you guys on, like what the heck is going on pretty much, like what we are doing to work with my PCOS and my fertility. That being said, so yesterday was the 12th, today is the 13th. I hope you guys aren't gonna shake. Okay, I tried filming this on my way in and it was a disaster because it is so shaky. Where like the roads are so bad where I live. So I figured I would just finish updating you once we got in here. So I am currently at the lab at my local hospital. Local hospital is that thing? At the hospital that is nearby. And I'm getting my blood work today, and then they will send those results up to my specialist, and then they will just have like a baseline of what my blood reports are. I don't know, like before I have any medicine in my system. So I know they're going to check like my blood sugar levels because of the potential to be insulin resistant. They are checking my liver, I want to say, and then my hormone levels again, just to see how high my testosterone is, because that will determine how much of the medicines they have to give me. So once they receive my test results, I will they're gonna call into my pharmacy, order me my script, and then I will start the 1 dose of medication. So let's go. So it's been a little while since I've actually updated you, but I just, look, stop. I had a doctor's appointment this morning. I actually woke up with such a bad migraine. I was so nauseous. I was which if you don't know, I have often, not often, but with my hormones, I just get them more frequently than I probably should be. So on the 26th, I finished my progesterone. I finished taking my 10 days of the progesterone. And then on the 28th, I started day 1 of my cycle. So I had to notify my doctors when I started day 1 of my cycle. And then they said that on day 3 of my cycle, I had to go in for some testing, just like some baseline blood work. They did like an ultrasound and blood work just to like see where I am before I start letrozole, which I start today. I will take it this evening. Yep. So that's where I was this morning. I was actually intending on vlogging a little bit while I was there, but I was so sick and so nauseous, and the drive down was not the greatest. But my mom came with me. She was a trooper, solid 10 there. But I am feeling much better. It's the afternoon. My appointment was at 9 o'clock this morning, and they are an hour and a half-ish away. I went to the McGee Women's Health Center. It was wonderful there. I really, really enjoyed my visit for, you know, what I was there for. So I start the letrozole today. I'll take that for the next 5 days, and then when I get a positive on my ovulation kit, I need to go back to the McGee Hospital and they do another round of testing, just because the medicine can make it make you like over fertile, I guess, is, I don't know what the technical term is. And they just want to make sure like I'm not like producing like multiple eggs, because like a lot of people that will take Clomid or letrozole, like you're more likely to have a multiple pregnancy, like have twins or something like that. So they want to prevent that as much as they can, because then it puts you and your children at risk, preterm labor, all that good stuff. So this first month of me just being on this medicine, they just want to monitor everything, and that is the process I am showing you. Hi friends, we are on our way home from my doctor's appointment today. Got Chick-fil-A.
Best part of the day, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. My appointment was at 8:45. It's like 10:25 now. Literally, it's like a 15-minute appointment. They do blood work and take an ultrasound, and that's literally all they do. It was so quick. It's just like an hour and 15-ish minute drive for us to get here. I did want to kind of like update you guys, because the last time I updated you was at the last appointment that I had. And I had that appointment when I was on my period, and right before I was starting letrozole, which I had never taken before. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about kind of how that went. So I was on progesterone, like to like induce my period, which I had been on before, and I wanted to talk about like the side effects. Max would attest to this one. I got very, very mood swingy. Yeah.
Big mood swings.
I only had some major mood swings, which wasn't a surprise surprise to me because, or to Max, because I had taken this once before we started this whole journey. So we kind of knew to expect that. It was like kind of like PMS on steroids, which the doctors told me would be most likely to happen, and so that wasn't a big surprise. Then when I started the Letrozole, mood swings got a little bit worse, but the biggest and weirdest symptom or side effect that I had is that I had like, what did I keep calling it? Like when my muscles were hurting? Growing pains. I don't know if you remember getting those as a kid. I didn't have a ton of them because I'm still pretty short, but it literally felt like growing pains, and they would be like different joints and muscles like each day. Like it felt like I would have had like a very like intense workout and my muscles were sore, but I literally didn't do anything. Like it would be like my ankles one day, then the next day it would be like my hips, then it would be my knees, then it would be my elbows. Like it was the weirdest thing, but it was so uncomfortable. And I don't really take medicine in the first place, so like I'm sure if you would have taken like an ibuprofen or an Aleve or something, like it probably would have just gone away, but it wasn't like terrible, it was just so weird. So there was that. Were there any other like major side effects, do you think?
I don't think. I mean, you didn't really get any headaches this time.
No. Well, and I honestly, yeah, like the first time I took the progesterone, I got migraines literally almost every single day. I did actually wake up with quite a few migraines, but I was taking my Imitrex in enough time to like kill the migraines. They weren't near as bad as last time, and I think that's because I was taking my Hello Eden like Pcos vitamin supplement thing. I think that definitely did help. I haven't been as regular with that as I should be, but I'm trying to. So yeah, that is the current update. I don't know what they're gonna say. She did say that she asked if I had PCOS today, which they've never actually asked me that when doing like a uterine ultrasound before, which kind of worries me. And I said, I do. Can you see that I have it, or you know? And she said, yeah. She said, well, they're either. She says it's kind of hard to tell if it's little cysts or little follicles, meaning I think like that has to do with my ovulation. I'm not really sure, but that was a little bit worrisome, but I don't know. They also did blood work to see how my levels were again, so I'm not sure what they will say, but we are just waiting it out. Want to let you guys know what's going on. Oh, it's also it's May 14th, just for reference. Okay guys, so I am on my last clip of this video because honestly I'm not good at vlogging, and I'm not, there's no outcome yet, which is okay. And I will keep you guys updated as things progress, but as of right now we are kind of at like a plateau, if you will. So let me sum up here. The last doctor's appointment, I think I vlogged at my last doctor's appointment on the way home, and that was when I went in for testing to see if I ovulated, if the Letrozole worked and made me ovulate. At the time when I went in, it did not. I did not ovulate yet. I think I didn't even have the test results when I talked to you guys last. And so then they said, well, your levels look like you should be about to ovulate soon. You know, wait it out another week, keep doing your OPK test, and let us know if you get positive. Okay, did that for another week. Still didn't get a positive, which kind of sucked, but such is life. And so from there, I was supposed to go get blood work done, and I just had this done 2 or 3 days ago, and I got that done locally, and then they were to send the results into the McGee Women's Health Center. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So basically, as long as the levels show that I didn't ovulate, then they will just do the same system over, to my knowledge, I guess. I will take like the progesterone to induce a period, and then I think they are going to up my level of Letrozole and see if that helps any. But that's a whole other month of doing the same thing, which is okay. So that is like where we're at in the journey. I have a couple disclaimers, a couple things I want to throw out there. So hopefully you guys stayed until the end of this video, because this is where some important things are going to come out. So this video is not to make you pity my journey, or to if you know me personally, it's not because I want sympathy, it's not because of anything like that. Really, it's just because I have found such a family in this journey. I've learned so much from other people's videos, comparing my story to theirs. Just, it's kind of nice knowing that I'm not alone, or that it's more common than what I thought it was. And that's just what I want to do for other people, is let them know that they're not alone, that there is hope, that there is, you know, that like, just because you're going through this, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. And yeah, so I want to throw that out there. It's not like, it's not the end of the world, it's just a journey I'm on. And if you know me, you know I share my life. I put it out on social media and I do that. So if people ask me about it, I'm fine talking about it. I'm open about it. It is what it is. But I'm not putting it out there to get sympathy of any kind. Secondly, whether or not we are trying to get pregnant, it's not really anyone's business. Again, I share my personal life with the world. I put myself out there and I am okay with that. I make that choice every time I upload content, whether it's on Instagram, stories, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I'm making the choice to put it out there. With that being said, whether you think we should be having kids, whether you think we're too young, whether you think that we're too early in our marriage, whether you think, whatever you think, please keep that to yourself. I have received many messages and in-person comments and just unsolicited opinions that, in the nicest way, I don't need to hear, I don't want to hear, because it's no one's business other than mine and my husband's as far as how we feel about the situation. If it's not out there, it's not out there for a reason. So with that being said, to completely clear the air, I'm going through this journey to get my body ready to have children. We would love to be parents, God willing, but we also fully trust in God's plan. And God's not going to give us a child if He's not ready for it. Whatever circumstance a baby will come into our life, it will come into our life. But that is not an opportunity to express your feelings on us expanding our family. I guess that's where some lines can get blurred, and I don't mean to come off as rude in this sense, but it is getting to a point where it's not mentally good. Like, I am at a good place with this journey, with everything we have going on, but when people start expressing that I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting my money, I'm doing things to my body that I don't need to be doing because we don't need to be having children yet. Us having children does not affect anybody other than my husband and I. And I guess that's just what I want everybody to understand, because in the end, it's my life. It's our life. And I'm gesturing back here because he's like right in this other room. But I did just want to put that out there. So I'm also ending this video and I also want to throw out there, on top of that, me ending this video does not mean that I am pregnant. You guys will know, you know, I will announce it in a cute, mildly extravagant way, because that is what I do. And I don't want this. I actually thought about not putting this video out completely. Like, as a whole, I considered not posting this video. But I keep having this feeling in my heart that God is telling me to share my story. And that is the whole reason I'm sharing it in the first place, is because I felt so alone when I first got diagnosed with PCOS, when I found out it can cause infertility. Because if you know me personally, you know my whole life. Well, first off, I love children. I love babysitting. I love just hanging out with the kiddos in my life. Like, I just love children. And I feel like I was put on this earth to be a wife and to be a mother. And anyone who knows me knows that about me, and they would attest to that. But I also feel that this is just part of the journey God wants me to walk on. And I feel like a part of that is making a new community of friends and people that can relate during a struggle, and that we can continue to keep each other accountable to see God in the center of this tornado that we're in of life. So I'm totally rambling at this point, but that's why I'm making this video. I'm making this video to let other girls going through the same thing know that they're not alone, to remind them that God is still at the center, to know that there's still hope and light at the end of the tunnel, and to just be a part of a community. It's not for sympathy. It's not to put everybody in my business. It's not for any purpose other than to be there for other girls and women who need to hear this and see this and realize that it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be happy, it's okay to be unsure, it's completely okay. And that's what this video is for. So with that being said, I hope you guys will react to this well. I hope you will watch it and hear this in a place of understanding, because I would love to keep sharing this journey with you. I really would. But that's where we're at right now. There's some highs and lows to this journey, and that's all part of what I'm trying to share. So I hope you guys, I want to say enjoyed this video, but I don't know that that's the proper word to use, but I hope you'll come back for my next video. We'll put it that way. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your love and support. And those that did send kind messages, I just want to blow you all the kisses in the world, because those are the messages that keep me up at night in a good way, that make me feel blessed and happy and thankful and just hopeful. And I think my husband would definitely agree with that too. Those of you that are nice about this and supporting and are offering prayers, that's what we need. That's what we want. That's what makes this even more worthwhile. So thank you to those of you that did that. And I'm rambling. Okay, I'm gonna go.